And welcome to 31 of the Pittsburgh Nerd Podcast. I'm Sean.
And I'm Ian, and this is the only podcast that says,
I never know how to react when a grown man does the Carlton in front of me.
Nice.
Yeah. I want to get into this, but I feel like we should just, before we delve any further, let's get into the big announcement that we teased last week. What do you think?
Sure, go ahead.
Let the cat out of the bag, as they say. So, like I said, last week we were talking about, expanding the brand, using that catchphrase, if you will. So one of the things I thought that would be a great idea, because I think it has a great crossover appeal, is I talked to the guys, the Nerd Corner here in White Oak, about recording a show there once a month. So we're going to be partnering with them. They are basically a game store. They sell video games, board games, computers. They build gaming computers. They provide PC services. They are fixing my PSP for me. They do a lot of different things. This is a great place, and I feel like there's a lot of crossover appeal between us and them, and more importantly, our listeners in the Pittsburgh area can come to their store, but also the people who already visit their store may be able to become familiar with us and give us a listen.
Right.
So I think this is an awesome opportunity for us. So once a month, we are going to be recording at their place and in their store while they're open. It's not a live show.
Right.
I want to say that. Like it's not like we're going to be set of speakers and shit like that. We're just going to be recording the show, or we're doing it there, so you can come in. Our first show there will be September 25th at 5 p.m.
Okay.
That's a month from now. I felt comfortable. Well, and then from there we'll schedule with them. Mostly I think it's like I told the guy there. You have a life. You're a busy man. You have children. You have things you have to take care of.
Yeah.
I got nothing. So I got to work around you, which is fine. But I feel like so we'll be doing it once a month. The next time we're in there, so first time we'll be in there will be September 25th, and then from there we'll make arrangements when the next episode will be recorded there, and kind of go from there. And I think this is going to be a great arrangement. They're very friendly. I was in there today. I was in there for a half hour talking Star Wars with the guy. Great. It's just a great place, and I think it's going to be a great opportunity for us, especially, but for them also. So the big announcement I will make with that as well is if you do come into the store and you mention us, you get 10% off your bill.
There you go. That sounds like a plus.
There's a plus. It's a big plus. So, if you're looking for some Dungeons and Dragons stuff, if you're looking for older video games, they had I was looking at them. They had PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, GameCube. The bunch of the Nintendo Wii. So if you're into stuff like that, like older consoles and stuff, plus tabletop games, role playing games, all this stuff, they're very interested in it. They've got a wide inventory of stuff. It's always worth coming in. And like I told the guy, I've been in here a few times, and the place is constantly evolving. It's constantly changing, And they were talking about, we're going to set you up back there. We're going to get a nice little setup for you. I'm like, oh, okay, that's nice. We don't need much room.
Yeah.
We'll keep it compact. So I think it's going to be great. So again, that's the Nerd Corner. I'll have more information, like address and stuff like that, because I'm sure people are going to be interested in it. Like, at least I hope so. At least I hope people, like, I'm not expecting a big crowd, but maybe 2 or 3 people show up. I'm sure Thad will come in and Baba Booey us or something.
Right.
Um, but I guess an exciting deal. So the Nerd Corner on Lincoln Highway in White Oak, Pennsylvania. That's where we're going to be, and it is I think a great opportunity for us.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I look forward to going down in there, setting up and doing our thing.
I mean, you were just in there. You said, like, we were just talking about it. You were just in there, so I mean, it's a pretty neat little store with a lot of different services that they have to offer. Like I said, I mean, they're fixing my PSP for me. The only problem has been, with that they had to order the parts for it. So I'm just waiting for the parts to come in. They were supposed to be there today, but I'm held hostage by the mail. But the guy said, like, as soon as they're in, I'll have it done. I'll let you know, and I'll have it done in an hour. I'm like, awesome. But I'm in no hurry to get it fixed. But still, it's awesome.
Yeah, I think he does custom PC work too, right?
He does. PC. Yeah, like they build gaming PCs there.
Yeah.
So yeah, they'll build you a PC if that's what you want them to do. I mean, I'm not quite sure. You have to talk to them about pricing and whatnot, but yeah, I mean, they offer a ton of services. I mean, the main guy I talked to, like he said, like he has an IT background. So like a lot of the stuff that he wants to offer is IT based, but also like just offering IT services. There's you can throw a rock and hit a place, I guess. So they're trying to diversify what they do.
Yeah, sure.
So we're offering these IT services on top of all this other stuff that we have to offer as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the place.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very, very cool, and I'm comfortable having a partnership with them. You know what I mean? Like it was like one of those things where, like, I'm looking for something else to like expand our horizons, expand the brand.
Right.
And, like when I was in there last week, it was just like, this is a no fucking brainer. We should be in here. We should be doing something in this space. And it's right here in our backyard.
Right.
Like how much more of a sign do I need?
Right.
And that's I kind of like asked them, like, right then. I hadn't talked to you, and I told them, like, look, and they're like right away, they're like, we love this idea. I'm like, okay, great. Like I didn't have to twist your arm. I didn't have to pitch anything. I'm like, no, I love it. This is a great idea. And I'm like, okay, I just need to talk to Ian.
Yeah.
Because again, like, I want to run it past you because you're a busy person. I mean, and for you to take 2 hours in the middle of your day, is a big deal. So I always appreciate you can take 2 hours at the end of your day,
Right.
So, but to take 2 hours in the middle of your day when, like, you do stuff, whereas with me, it's like, what am I doing in the middle of the day? I'm watching Ted Lasso.
No, I went in the place. I felt like I was right at home. I felt like I was in my house. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's a pretty comfortable vibe.
Yeah. So, and that was funny because like last Saturday, you had sent me that text message like, you can't record today, go into the game.
Yeah.
Like, okay. But after I talked to them, like, I'm like, this can't wait till Sunday. I got to talk to Ian now.
Yeah.
That's how hyped I was about it.
Yeah, right.
Like, when on that Saturday, I called you like 2 p.m. because I was so hyped about this idea. Like, I got to run it past him now. I got to talk to him about it, because this is how geeked I am about this idea. And yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready to record.
Yeah. So there you go. The partnership, Pittsburgh Nerd Corner. Coming together. It will.
Yeah,
it will be great. And I hope you'll come on. I hope if you're a listener who's in the Pittsburgh area, I hope you'll come on. Maybe not to the first one, maybe one of the future ones, but I hope you'll stop in just to say hello.
Right.
and check out the store. I know. I mean, it's not easy for everybody. Thad lives out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Stork is other side of town. But I certainly hope you'll take the time to stop in and say hello.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Plus, save yourself 10% on something. Maybe you'll find something you're like, hey, I really would love to play this game, or save yourself 10%.
Yeah, for sure.
Faux show. How you been, buddy? What you been up to other than skulking in my neighborhood without saying hello?
Right. Good. This week's going to be a rough week, but got to do some overnights.
Yeah, those are the worst.
Yeah. But all in all, pretty well. I don't think I've watched anything this week. I've been working late. I put like 20 hours of overtime in.
Yeah. I actually watched this week Ted Lasso.
Okay.
It's on Apple TV.
Uh-huh.
So, this show is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah?
Like, I don't say that lightly. Like, this show has no right working whatsoever. The concept of the show is just irresponsible. Like, you would say to yourself, this shouldn't work. There's no chance this is going to work. But not only does it work, but it works flawlessly.
Yeah.
And the concept of the show is Ted Lasso is a Division II college football coach who won the Division II national championship at Wichita State or Jackson's. I can't remember. I think it was Wichita State is what the college they said it was. And he's hired to be a Premier League soccer coach in Europe.
Yeah.
In London.
Okay.
And it's like, okay. Well, yeah, then you find out the basic premise of season 1 is it's Major League.
Okay.
The owner of the team, she divorced her husband, who was apparently a cheating womanizer.
Mm-hmm.
She gets the team in the settlement, and she decides, because that's the only thing in the world he loves is his football team, she's going to run into the ground.
Okay.
And this is her way of getting revenge on her ex-husband. And one of the ways she's going to do that is to hire a coach who would know nothing about soccer.
Yeah.
Well, instead, Ted relies on team building techniques, and he's building the team, he's building morale, he's building their character, making them better people, and hence they become better players. And along the way, his influence is rubbing off on her, and like his influence, like the character of Ted Lasso, which is played by Jason Sudeikis, is like so sugary, sweet, nice. Again, it shouldn't fucking work, but it does.
Yeah.
It works so well. And the characters work. The woman who plays the owner is fantastic. And Roy Kent, the guy who plays Roy Kent, he's like the grizzled veteran. He's got like the 3 days, the continuous 3 day stubble, like the black beard, and he's a fucking wanker. He's got like that like deep like British thing going, and you're just like, this is fucking amazing. This how does this shit work? But it does. It like, I can't describe it. It is an amazing show that just knocks it out of the park. I can't recommend it enough. Like, if you have Apple TV, you're probably already watching it. If you don't have Apple TV, I mean, there are some other things on there I want to watch. Like, I want to watch C. I want to watch The Morning Show. And I think next month, or maybe it's October, I can't remember, is the debut of Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
which it's based off the novels, the short stories by Isaac Asimov.
Mm-hmm.
So this is something that like I'm very much looking forward to. So I'm very intrigued to watch all this other stuff. But the first thing I watched was Ted Lasso, just because everybody's talking about it right now because it's in the middle of its second season, and there have been times where I've had tears in my eyes. There have been times where I've laughed my ass off. There have been times where you're just like, wow. I mean, this show just fucking works. I guess the only way I can describe it, it has no right in the world to be as good as it is, but I'll be damned if it's not one of the best things on TV right now.
Right.
Can't recommend it enough.
And it's how many first season? How many episodes?
First season was 10 episodes.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that was it. I started watching that, and that was about it.
You binge it, I guess.
Yeah, each episode's only like a half hour.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, like between a half hour and 40 minutes. And
Right.
I watched some other stuff. I mean, I watched the making of The Mandalorian. They did like a whole thing about doing Luke on the final episode. And like the technical aspect of stuff was like kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but what I think was more interesting was hearing Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni talk about their feelings about having Luke Skywalker on the set.
Oh, really?
Like, and like Favreau was like, it was cool. It was like, there's Mark Hamill, and he's like, and then rolling through the door is R2-D2. He's like, and that's when I lost it. See, I had to walk away and cry. I don't know why I felt that way, but it hit something inside of me, very deep inside of me. Like seeing R2-D2 next to Mark Hamill just brought me to tears.
Huh.
And Filoni's like, that's Star Wars. It for each of us, there's it hits something in our soul. And like, I mean, again, I could listen to Dave Filoni talk about Star Wars for days on end, but like he just, because he gets it more than anybody, but Favreau definitely gets it as well. Like it was like so interesting just to hear those two talk about it. Like I could, that like my dream guest, if we were to ever have a dream guest, would be Dave Filoni, because he's a Pittsburgh guy.
Right.
So not only is it like, is he like the next in line to George Lucas, in my opinion, but he's also a guy from Pittsburgh. And it's like funny, like he's doing this on-set interview and he's wearing this jacket, like this winter jacket, but underneath it he's got a Tristan Jarry t-shirt on.
Does he?
Yeah. Like he loves the Penguins. Like I think he's a Steeler fan, but like he's like a huge hockey guy apparently.
Yeah.
Like everything I see him in, like, it's always about the Penguins. I mean, he did a whole thing, like a drawing of like the Penguins winning the cup with porgs.
Oh, really?
Or loath cats. I mean, yeah. I mean, it was like he's like a big Penguins guy. He's a big hockey guy.
Yeah.
And so it's always interesting, like this, like see, like he's sitting there. Here's Dave Filoni, and he's talking about Star Wars, in like the most serious tone possible, but he's wearing a Tristan Jarry t-shirt. And I'm just like, my boy,
That's right.
there.
That's right. Yeah.
Keeping it hometown proud.
That's right, baby.
Yeah. So that was interesting. Like, I mean, and that's about a half hour, 40 minutes, somewhere in that range. Like I said, like the technical aspects of what they did was interesting, but even like hearing Hamill talk about, like, putting on the black costume again, and like they came to his house and they let him read the script, and he even got to hold a Groku, and he was just like, man, I'm in,
Really?
Yeah. There's like film of him, like like in his backyard, like in the black costume,
Nice.
like, holding a Groku, like yeah, you got me,
Yeah, I don't see why I wouldn't do it.
Well, I think like their concern was, and I think especially after Mark Hamill's remarks about how Rian Johnson treated the character.
Yeah.
Like they wanted to be respectful and they wanted his approval. You know what I mean? Before like saying like, yeah, you're doing this. Like they wanted his approval of like, this is how we should handle this character, right?
Right.
And Hamill's like, yeah. Sure.
It's pretty exciting though that Favreau's involved.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
The Favreau involvement is key to a lot of things, I think. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, let's face facts. Jon Favreau is responsible for the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Right.
He directed the first Iron Man. He set the tone. He created the blueprint. He was supposed to be Joss Whedon. He was supposed to direct the first Avengers movie.
Right.
He was supposed to be the master guide that takes us through this. And after Iron Man 2, for whatever reason, he decided he wanted to step away.
Mm.
But, I mean, facts are facts. I mean, we wouldn't have 20-plus movies without, Jon Favreau really paving the way and showing how these should be done.
Right.
So so to have that guy who is going to be the mastermind now, like almost to the point like where he may be the mastermind behind Star Wars now. Him and Dave Filoni, like, yeah, I mean, and they work so well together is the thing. Like, I mean, it'd be one thing if it was like, yeah, I mean, I'm sure Filoni's there, but like you can tell like Favreau leans on Filoni for a lot of information because he knows, what learning tree he sat under,
Yeah.
So I think the whole thing's fascinating. I think they work well together. I think the two of those guys should just be like, Kathleen Kennedy should be the head of Lucasfilm as far as like the head, but like these two guys should be running Star Wars.
Yeah, for sure. It's pretty clear, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, speaking of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I could feel your excitement all the way over here in my house on Tuesday when the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer dropped.
Oh, man. That was some good stuff.
Wasn't it, though?
Oh, man. That was a good teaser trailer.
Yeah, it told you nothing and it told you a lot. Like, it's like very interesting. It's like, like I hear a lot of conspiracy theories. Like, I'm gonna start right now. Like, the conspiracy theories that's not Stephen Strange. Well, for my money, the Stephen Strange that I've seen on the movie screen thus far, he's arrogant enough to do this.
Right.
Like, I think that Stephen Strange is still a bit of a dick, and still a bit of a dick enough to think, I could change time.
Right.
I don't need the eye of Agamemnon.
Right.
So, like,
or he has another Or there's another agenda behind it. I can go with that more so than I can go with it not being strange.
Well, I mean, with like
that makes sense.
Well, with the multiverse fracturing,
Right.
like it just makes sense that the Wanda's cracked the multiverse. Loki has clearly cracked the multiverse. Let's let Stephen Strange put the final nail in that coffin. Like it makes more sense to me. Like I just think Stephen Strange, like the cinematic Stephen Strange, is still arrogant enough to think that he could pull that off without consequences.
Right.
And lo and behold, there's consequences.
Right.
But even before that, like the stuff between Pete and MJ, like the whole thing about, him, this is being Spider-Man and everything, that was just a nice setup. Like when he's like, I just don't want to go down there. Let's just stay here.
Right.
It's crazy down there. I don't want to be down there.
Right.
I feel for the kid.
Yeah, you do. You know he's hurting.
Yeah. And he's being questioned by, the law. I think that hairy arm with the sleeve rolled up, I think that was our good friend Charlie Cox.
Yeah, but I don't understand why Charlie Cox would be slamming his fist down in front of Pete. That's the only thing I don't get. The aggression there. I don't know. Well, we'll have to see. But the arm does look.
Yeah.
Unless he's talking to somebody else.
Yeah, which is always a possibility.
Right.
But.
Well, then you have the. I found, and I don't know if people look into this or not, but they showed what's his name in getting grilled too.
Ned.
Ned.
Yeah.
And that's kind of an interesting storyline if they chose to go down that rabbit hole. Ned being Hobgoblin, right? I think as memory serves, that's correct.
Ned is the Hobgoblin?
Pretty sure. Let me look it up. Go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah. That'd be interesting. I mean, I thought Hobgoblin was
Nah, let me look it up.
Okay.
Hold on, I'll tell you in 1 second.
Yeah. But I thought, like, I mean, seeing the pumpkin bomb getting dropped. And I mean, you get to the end, you get Doc Ock with, hello, Peter.
Oh man.
Oh. Love that moment.
Huh? Yeah, I
love that moment. I mean, people were bitching. They're like, well, we didn't see any of the other Spider-Men, and we didn't see this, that, or, there's a lot of speculation about shit. And, like, I don't want to see all of that. Like, I'm fine with what I saw.
Right. I mean, I don't want to see the whole freaking story develop. No. But the pieces that I saw were pretty freaking interesting. The fact that the 6 are coming alive piques my interest beyond words. And it's not like, I mean, you have to look for it, but you don't have to look too hard. I mean,
yeah.
You see the lightning, you see the rise of the sand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Lizard is there. Hobgoblin. Now, to what aspect these villains are coming into play, I don't know. Michael Keaton, right, is supposed to be in this.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. And then Scorpion's in jail, whether they choose to go that route. And then you have Shocker as well. So, there's a lot of shit going on here.
Yeah.
And there's a ton of villains. And the whole reason they're doing this is for Mysterio.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not for Mysterio, but
Right.
the root of it. So Mysterio is involved as well. So, I mean, like, you have the pack. I mean, all you need now really is freaking, well, in theory, Venom can be part of this as well, which I don't think he's going to be. But, I mean, fuck, I mean, you're going down this path of all these Spider-Man villains in this place. I mean, who else do you need to bring in but the Kingpin? I mean, you're not going to, but what I'm saying is, like, they've opened this window up to where now, you know, it's almost access to, Daredevil, Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist.
Well, I mean, don't
forget,
technically, they were already they're in that same universe.
Yeah, I know, but
so the multiverse doesn't need to be open for them to show up. No, they were already there.
Right. No, I know that.
It's just introducing them to these characters, and especially like more importantly, like even if you wanted to reboot the others, I'm fine with that. But Charlie Cox is Daredevil and Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin need to be in the cinematic universe.
I agree.
You know,
I think they're the strongest of the bunch. I mean, Jessica Jones is pretty good too.
Right. I'll agree with you there, but I mean, of those four characters,
it's got to be Charlie. I mean,
it's Cox as Daredevil and Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin.
Right.
You know, I'll even give you Barenthal as Punisher in this universe.
Right.
You know, like it's one of those things like is this whole highway scene like one thing? Like, is this where, because there's a fracture in the multiverse, this is like the epicenter of that, and this is where these villains rise out of, but also, you know, Maguire's Spider-Man, Garfield's Spider-Man, Charlie Cox shows up as Daredevil, Stephen Strange shows up, and they have this epic fight on this highway to try to repair the damage that's been done.
Right. And then, you know, is she coming? I don't know. I mean,
there's also reports that, you know, Emma Stone's been cast in this, you know, so are you doing a Spider-Gwen?
I know. Unbelievable.
Like, if Emma Stone shows up as Spider-Gwen, I'm hallelujah moment.
I just hope the story's good. Because, I mean, that's the only thing that worries me is, like, I don't know how they're going to root the story. Because each one of these villains, it's like making a Legion of Doom movie. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Except
but from different dimensions.
Correct. And like, the characters themselves, you know, the characters themselves are, I mean, you can probably not have to go into a storyline about Sandman. You know what I mean? Electro was done enough. But I mean, Doc Ock's a pretty intricate character. So is Vulture, in a sense. But you kind of touched on him. I don't know. There's just a lot of things that I mean, I want to see all of them for like 3 hours. Yeah. But I'm not going to. I mean, it's probably, I don't know who it's going to, I mean, of course it's centered on Spider-Man, but who's like, you know, like, who's heading all this up? Is it Ock?
I've got a feeling like this highway scene is going to be like a 20-minute big ass fight where the multiverse is fractured and that's the epicenter.
Right.
And this is what comes crawling out of that. You know?
Right.
Whether I'm right or wrong, I don't know. Clearly, but like I just have a feeling the story like there's more to the story than what they're telling us, and I just have a feeling like You're right. I need another 3-hour movie with Alfred Molina as Doc Ock. I need that in my life because he was so good in Spider-Man 2. Like Spider-Man 2 is still like in my top 5, maybe my top 2 superhero movies of all time, behind only The Dark Knight.
Right.
So I mean, like this is like his portrayal of that character was so on target, and and it was so well done by Sam Raimi with the arms and how they were puppeteered and when they went to CGI and when they used real. I mean, so much good shit came out of that movie, and like you're right, like that particular character, I just would love to see explored even more. I just don't think we're gonna. I think we're gonna get a 20-minute fight sequence, and they're all gonna be put back in the bottle.
Yeah, or are they? I mean, like I don't know.
But the bottle's the multiverse.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
I mean, because I guess the baddies that are coming out of this multiverse would be Doc Ock and Goblin, Lizard. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to think of the guys. And Michael Keaton's already in this universe.
Right.
But you're
talking. Doc Ock and Goblin are from the Maguire-verse.
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly.
Right. They can actually be from any verse.
Right, but Doc, this is the Tobey Maguire version of Doc Ock.
Right.
I mean, Sandman would be again from the Tobey Maguire verse.
Mm-hmm.
Electro would be Andrew Garfield. Now, I mean, the question becomes like, okay, like, did they score Dane DeHaan to do a Green Goblin, or are they going with Tobey Maguire's Green Goblin? I think it'd be easier to do Tobey Maguire's Green Goblin and just do like a Willem Dafoe voiceover, because he was in that shitty helmet.
Yeah. I don't know how you do the Dafoe thing. That's where it kind of gets tricky, right?
But it's the multi. I mean, how do you explain Doc Ock coming back? I mean, technically he died in the Tobey Maguire movie.
Or did.
Now, what I could say is whatever was taking place in the like what he got pulled into, maybe that becomes the rip in the multiverse that sends him to Maguire. Yeah, I mean, that's the play on it, but I guess there's too many. It opens up too many questions because of the multiverse aspect of this and what Strange has done to time and space, with this spell.
Right.
And like it's. I'm at the point like where like I don't want to see anything else. I don't want to see another trailer. I don't need to see another trailer. I've seen enough. I'm hooked.
Right.
You've shown me enough. I want to be surprised by everything else.
Right.
Like I don't want to see promotional material with the Sinister Six.
Yeah, I agree.
Not until after the movie comes out.
Right. Getting back to Ned.
Yeah.
Real quick. I'm just going to read this. Right.
Okay.
Ed Ned Leeds is a fictional character appearing in American comic books published by Marvel. Supporting character in stories featuring the superhero Spider-Man. He has been a reporter for the Daily Bugle and husband to Betty Brant. So.
Wow.
Now, this is in the comics. First appearing in 1964. Hobgoblin. So, I mean, that's their play, in this verse. But does Ned turn? I don't know. For all the shit that Peter's taking him through. But I don't know. Like I said, it looks exciting. There's so many things that we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm actually interested, and a weird part of it, I'm interested in the whole. I'm interested in the whole. As weird as it sounds, I'm interested in the mechanical web shooters versus the natural web shooting of Maguire.
Yeah.
I mean, Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the natural web shooters versus mechanical ones that were made. I find it all interesting. So I think I find it even more interesting that they're going to be talking to each other. I find that interesting. I like, because I like that in the Spiderverse cartoon.
Yeah.
The only thing I didn't really care for in that was the Spider Pig or whatever. It just didn't fit for me. But we'll see. Spider-Ham, yeah. And then who was that? Nicolas Cage who played him. Who played him?
I can't remember who played him. Nicolas Cage was the noir Spider-Man.
Yeah, noir. I wasn't into that either. I'm good with Morales. I'm good if they bring back the 3. I'm good with just those.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the pig kind of is that fourth wall character, which doesn't have really a place here.
Right. I mean, in a cartoon, it does.
It does, but not here.
But I think like you're going to get the 3 that we know.
Mm.
So you have Holland, Garfield, and Maguire, and I would not be shocked if I get Spider-Gwen.
Oh my God. It'll be neat to see. It'll be neat to see the reaction from Garfield.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like really looking forward to that reaction. Because you remember, I'm the one that I love Garfield. I love the Garfield.
Yeah, I know you
character. So, and I love that whole relationship between the two of them.
Yeah.
Like it was just so strained and in parts and beautiful. I mean, it was really. I thought that part was written very well. The dynamic between the two of them, trying to live their lives. You know what I mean? With this massive weight on their shoulders. You know what I mean? Like it's just, I like that. But to see her in that Gwen suit, dude. I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm just her. But I mean, she's a great actress, and like she captured that. She captured that character like perfectly, to me.
Yeah.
It was just so good. So.
No, I agree. Like, I think she's like, as much as I dislike Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker. Yeah, I think she was a shining light in those movies, and I thought their relationship, particularly in the second movie, because he's trying to honor the wishes of Captain Stacy,
right,
to not involve her,
right,
but he can't help himself.
Yeah, he loves her.
Yeah, like I think that's really well done.
I think it is too. And like I said, that backbreak goes down in cinematic history.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, something I did watch real quick, same type of thing, but I watched Guardians 2 again.
Okay.
It's been a while since I watched Guardians 2.
Yeah.
And I fucking break down every time at the end scene. But it's like, he's not your daddy. It's that moment in Spider-Man for me. That backbreak, that loss, that just, it's just a cinematic wonder to me.
I mean, when he goes flying back up and just beats the shit out of Goblin.
Yeah.
Like that darkness that you're just like, oh yes, Yes, you know.
Right. But I don't think we'll see Venom in this.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
I certainly hope not.
I mean, they got every other villain, but I don't think Venom will make an appearance in this. And probably shouldn't.
No.
I mean, I love Venom, but I like the character. You know what I mean? Like, I like Venom.
Yeah.
But it's too. I think if you brought him in, I think it would be absolutely way too much.
Yeah.
There's just too much there.
Yeah, there's too much going on.
Yeah, wait. So.
That's why I'm saying, like, I don't think, like,
go ahead.
I don't feel like the focus of this movie is going to be on these villains that we're seeing coming on. Like, I feel like they're going to be like a one-shot fight and they're done, because I think there's something else afoot. Like yeah, it's like having that many villains would just be like so much bloat, you know? Like, I feel like there's going to be one mastermind behind everything, and these guys are kind of, you know.
Is that mastermind Mephisto? I don't know the answer to
that. You said it, not me. You know.
No, I know, but I mean,
but you can't help but think that. Like my thinking is, like, all these villains coming out, they're all kind of showing up on the highway. That's going to be the big fight sequence, and that ends those villains, though. Like, they get put back in the multiverse bottle. There's something bigger afoot, and yes, like, I hate to be that guy, but yeah, it could be Mephisto.
I mean, on speculation, I mean, like, there have been so many Easter eggs on Mephisto throughout this whole fucking process through Marvel.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And now we're getting to a point, even in this last trailer, where they have that picture of Parker and it says the devil in disguise.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's just a lot of Easter eggs toward Mephisto. And if they don't do it, I'm cool with that. Whatever.
Yeah. Right.
But if they do it, I'm cool with it. I'm on the fence. You know what I mean? Like, either way, I'm good. I'm not going to be disappointed, you know, or outraged if he doesn't come out. You know what I mean? But at the same point, I mean, you know, they've been kind of leading us in this direction, so we'll see.
Right. Like, it's that thing of, like, it's funny, like, his name has become such a dog whistle for Marvel fans at this point. Like hardcore comic book fans are so desperate to see Mephisto on the screen.
Right.
That you know, like, any little thing that they think is an inkling to, you know, it's Mephisto. It's Mephisto.
Yeah,
it's Mephisto. I mean, you know,
I'm just throwing the facts together on what we're seeing as far as Easter eggs.
Right, I agree with you. Like, I mean, and, like, I'm at a point where, like, I'm looking at this and I'm, like, saying to myself, man, 6 villains from 3 different, you know, versions of the multiverse seems like a lot to carry, like, for a film to be, you know, carrying the back of. I can't see that happening, but man, I can see there being one puppet master to the whole thing, and that one puppet master's name is Mephisto.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And I mean, if you would ask me, what Marvel villain do you want to see on screen? I want to see Doctor Doom. I mean, I want to see Doom and Doom, like Thanos. Do you know what I mean? Like, Doom, the all-powerful. You know what I mean? That's the Doom that I want to see.
Right.
I mean, if you're going to ask me what villain, I mean, sure, I would love for Mephisto. It makes sense for Mephisto to come in, you know. But if you're going to ask me any villain I want, right, I could tell you right now, I want to see Doctor Doom.
It's like, but, like, based upon, like, the direction that Marvel's now going in, where, you know, we've already seen the cracks in the multiverse to the point that, you know, Loki broke it wide open.
Right.
Like you said, like, you know, all through WandaVision, as we were watching it several times, you were like, well, that was a Mephisto Easter egg. I think it's Mephisto. I think she's Agatha Harkness, but I think Mephisto is behind everything. You know, and we may find out he still is. You know, he may have been the one who sent Agatha Harkness to Wanda.
Yeah, but at the same time, you have to think to yourself too. But at the same time, why did we bring Kang the Conqueror?
Well, because I think you're dealing with two different aspects of it. I think like Mephisto is going to be dealing with the mystical side of this break in the multiverse, where Kang is, the space and time side.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? Like Mephisto's taking advantage of a situation where he's feeling the multiverse breaking apart.
Right.
Where Kang, I feel like, is going to be like the science behind the multiverse, and his choice to conquer it, so to speak. So I think it's two different ways of dealing with the same thing, and like, which may lead us to like, Mephisto may be the main villain in, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Could be.
I think Kang is Loki's problem. Like, he may show up in a movie or two, but I feel like Kang is going, like, if you're having a season 2 of Loki, it's going to be to deal with Kang.
Right.
So like, we may not see, like, season 2 of Loki may not be for 3 or 4 years.
Right.
Brace for that, folks. But in the meantime, like, Mephisto is playing with this from the mystical side of it. He's powerful enough to feel what's happened to the multiverse, feel what Strange has done, feel what Wanda has done, and now he's trying to take advantage of that.
Right.
How can he manipulate that to his own ends?
Right.
So it's just two different powerful characters dealing with the same, for lack of a better term, problem, but dealing with it in two very, very different ways.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
It certainly will.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm still curious on what Chris Pine is gonna fucking do.
I'm telling you, I know my thoughts. Those are my thoughts.
What were your thoughts?
Reed Richards.
You think Reed?
Yeah.
Because they already have someone for that.
No, they don't. They haven't announced any cast for Fantastic Four.
I thought, what's his name from what's his
John
name?
Krasinski?
Yeah.
No, that's been fantasy casting. The fantasy casting has been John Krasinski and Emily Blunt.
Nice.
That's been like, and Emily Blunt has come right out and said, like, I ain't doing it.
Yeah.
I think Krasinski just may be busy enough between Jack Ryan and, Quiet Place movies where he's not doing any. He's not able to do it either.
Right. Not that he wouldn't be a good stretch. I'm not.
No, I think he's the perfect choice. Like, I do. Like, if you were to, like, there's a reason why he's been the fantasy casting. Much like Cumberbatch was for Doctor Strange. John Krasinski's been the guy that everybody's been like, he's got to be Reed Richards.
But Pine makes sense. I think Pine would fill that role completely.
So do I.
You talk about a huge role, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree.
No, I know. I'm not saying that he can't do it. I'm just saying that that's a huge role to fill, and it's actually a really good actor to choose, because it's not like you're not choosing Matty Damon to put in that role.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Or Brad Pitt. I mean, these actors are bigger than movies themselves. You know what I mean? You're picking Pine to come in and do this role. I mean, I think he fits the bill. I think he's funny enough. You know what I mean? I think he can do the physical aspects, running, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
And he's not too old, but yet he's not too young. You know?
Yeah.
Put some gray on the side, boy.
Oh, I'm right there with you. Like, I mean, the second I heard that they were talking to him, that was like my first guess. Is I mean, that's got to be for Reed Richards.
Yeah,
I would got it. I'd be talking about Reed Richards.
It has to be.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not Surfer. I don't. It has to be.
It's not Johnny Storm. Like out of all the stuff that's coming up, like that's the one thing. Yeah. But like for all the stuff that's coming up, like that's the one thing that like you haven't heard anything about as far as like casting. Like everything else is like, well, we already kind of know because it's a known property, or because like Guardians or it's Strange, or it's shit that we know. This is the only thing that's coming up in the next few years where like they still haven't got the cast together, and Chris Pine as Reed Richards makes a ton of sense.
Yeah. Well, it has to.
Yeah.
I mean, it just. Yeah, I don't know, and I don't know how you're going to introduce the X-Men back in.
I think that's still a ways down the road.
Oh, I agree, but I think you're going to get Flashes. I think you're going to get mutants.
Yeah, I think you can do that. I think I
think that's coming.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they're going to throw flashes of mutants and stuff like that in here. And use the term mutant.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But they still got to get a Wolverine, unless they at least leave Wolverine out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Might just leave him out. What do you think? Think they should leave him out?
I would not be bothered if they left him out. I feel like.
Well, he's crucial in so many storylines.
It's not so much even that, as much as it is next to Xavier, and maybe even more than Xavier. Wolverine's other than Deadpool, he's the most recognizable X-Men. If I say X-Men to my mother, she knows who Wolverine is.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like if I, when you say X-Men to somebody who is not a comic book fan, not a fan of comic book movies, they still kind of know who Wolverine is. He's that iconic.
Right.
Compared to most X-Men. I'm sure there are comic book fans who are going to, what are you talking about? I'm talking about like the average person who doesn't know anything.
Yeah, average Joe is going to know Xavier and Wolverine. Maybe Cyclops. God, I hope Chris Pine isn't Cyclops.
No, I can't see that.
He's too old for that role. But I mean, depending on when they do it. But yeah, I'm really interested. I'm excited for the next 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I mean, Fox just ruined so many things that it's sort of like putting the band back together and doing it right. You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, they had such a wasted character with Havoc. I mean, how can you bring Havoc in? I mean, Havoc is a huge character.
Yeah.
And it seems like anything they touched with the X-Men, I just felt like they destroyed a lot of it.
Yeah.
Except, I thought all the casting was okay, but what's his name is Sabretooth was really good. I forget his name.
Oh yeah. I can't think of his name either.
Man, he was perfect.
And Wolverine Origins. Yeah. That guy, not Taylor LeBane or whatever that dude's name was, the pro wrestler. No.
No. What is his name? Whatever.
Liv Schreiber.
Yeah. He was like God, was he a good fucking Sabretooth.
Yeah.
Man, was that good. Anyway, all right, moving forward. So it looks good.
Yeah, it does. I'm intrigued. I'm looking forward to it.
All right.
Moving on from that to news that I can't quite wrap my head around.
Okay.
This week, Spencer Eldon, a name you don't know, but you've been seeing him for 30 years as a baby.
Okay.
He is suing on grounds of child pornography. Spencer Eldon is the name of the person who was as a baby was used on the cover of Nirvana's Nevermind album.
Okay.
And he states that the cover depicts Eldon underwater in a swimming pool as a then infant with his genitalia exposed. The image has been generally understood as a statement of capitalism, as it is a digital imposition of a dollar bill on a fish hook that the baby appears to be enthusiastically swimming towards. Non-sexualized nude photos of infants are generally not considered child pornography under law. However, Robert Y. Lewis, Eldon's lawyer, offers an unusual interpretation of the image to argue that it crosses the line into child pornography, writing that the inclusion of currency in the shot makes the baby appear like a sex worker.
Oh my God.
Now, for those of you who may be young, first off, thank you for listening to the show. We tend to skew much older. But there was a time where showing a naked baby on like television, in movies, as part of a advertising campaign was never considered child pornography.
No.
I mean, if I can go all the way back to Superman the movie, where Kal-El's ship crashes, Ma and Pa Kennard, they open the ship, and there's baby Kal-El, with little Kal-El right there to be seen. So, like, it's one of those things where, like, baby nudity, you always see, like, on TV, little kids with little bottoms hanging out and stuff. Like baby nudity was never considered bad for some reason.
Right.
It's only recently, with the advent of the internet, that we've learned that there are these sick fucks out there, and so we've had to change the rules on how we handle nudity even for babies.
Right.
But 1991 was still like part of that innocent time. So like the kid, like it was never considered, like it was just part of the fucking the album cover.
Right.
It states here, the defendants intentionally commercially marketed Spencer's child pornography and leveraged the shocking nature of his image to promote themselves and their music at his expense, reads the lawsuit, filed in the U.S. District Court's Central District of California. Defendants used child pornography depicting Spencer as an essential element of the record promotion scheme commonly utilized in the music industry to get attention, wherein album covers posed children in a sexually provocative manner to gain notoriety, drive sales, and garner media attention and critical reviews. Like, Nevermind at Nirvana is considered, one of the greatest bands of all time, and that, that particular album changed the complete complexion of rock history as we know it. No, it's the kid's Willie on the cover that did that, not the genius of Kurt Cobain.
Right.
The cover art subject, who, like the Nevermind album itself, is now 30, is asking for at least $150,000 from each of the defendants, who include surviving band members David Grohl, Chris Novosek, Courtney Love, the executive of Kurt Cobain's estate, Guy Osseri, Heather Perry, manager of Cobain's estate, photographer Kurt Weddle, art director Robert Fisher, and a number of existing or defunct record companies that released or distributed the album in the last 3 decades. Curiously, Nirvana's original drummer, Chad Channing, is also named as defendant, who was part of the group at the time, who was not part of the group at the time. He had been replaced by Grohl in 1990 before the album was recorded or the cover photography even shot. Eldon has repeatedly recreated the pose as a teenager and adult diving into pools to pose with swimming trunks on occasion of the album's 10th, 17th, 20th, and 25th anniversaries. However, in most of the interviews accompanying those photo shoots, he expressed deeply mixed feelings about the infamous being famous for Nevermind cover and whether he was exploited by it. Until now, despite his ongoing ambivalence about the photo's legacy, he hadn't described it as pornographic.
Right.
I don't see where this kid's got a chance in hell. Like, I really don't.
I don't either. I don't really quite. I don't. He doesn't actually. I don't see where it's even going to hold up.
The only good that's come of this has like been some of the memes. Like I saw like one where Weird Al Yankovic was suing himself for, because he did a takeoff on that cover.
Uh-huh.
And my personal favorite was the baby from Van Halen 1984 called the Nirvana baby a pussy.
Right.
Like it's one of those things where like I don't think like the only thing you could say is, well, I had no choice in the decision. Well, no, because you were like 3 months old and your parents made that decision for you, who were your legal guardians.
Right.
But then again, like, who knows? Like, I mean, this is California. I know we have some friends in California, but sometimes California can go a different way than the rest of the country thinks. And like, I don't see how this could be considered, like the whole stance of like, well, it looks like he's a sex worker is like ridiculous. I mean, clearly it's a statement on capitalism.
Right.
I don't think you have to like be much of a sociologist to figure that out.
Right.
But you just think it's just somebody just wasting some time and money. Like some lawyer who thinks maybe, just maybe, I can hit the mother lode on this.
Right. It's not even that much money.
Yeah, I mean, with the exception of like the original drummer,
right?
You're probably looking. $150,000 from each person identified. And this is so you're probably looking at like maybe when it's all said and done, 1.5 million.
Yeah. And his cut's probably 30%.
Yeah. Like, I can see like Dave Grohl being like, I don't even want to deal with this. Here's $150K. Go away.
Yeah.
Courtney Cox will not give up a fucking cent.
Right.
She is like, no, you are getting nothing.
Right.
I worked hard to make sure I got this money.
Yeah, she didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think anything's gonna come about of it. Being quite honest with you, and I don't think it has. I don't think there's no ground. I mean, in essence, shouldn't the kid be suing his parents? I
That's who I feel like you should be suing. Is like
if you
fine,
want to
the
get weird,
band everybody had an idea for how this album should be marketed. You know what the cover is supposed to be. You know, that's fine. The people responsible are the people who are your parents. They're the ones who agreed to this.
right.
And like more importantly, like I mean, I can even get like, okay, it's kind of a weird. It's not even like a weird thing. Like, okay, when I was like, it's one thing to be like a child actor, and to be able to say like, oh yeah, I was on, you know, Growing Pains for a season. You know, like, oh yeah, you're that kid. I remember you. This, I mean, you're unrecognizable. 30 years later, I couldn't pick that kid out of a lineup.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, there's no way.
You know, so unless you bring it up to somebody like, yeah, I'm the Nirvana baby. Like, nobody's going to be like, dude.
Well, that's why there's no defamation of character attached to this either. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's that weird thing of like the only people you should be pissed at in this is it should be your parents, because they're the ones who signed the agreement to throw you in a pool, and you know let them take pictures.
Right, I want to hear what they have to say.
Yeah.
You know,
and over the years you've recreated it, and you've been like, yeah, it's like a weird thing I'm known for, I guess. Like, well, not really. Nobody knows that. Unless you tell them.
Yeah, they're just looking for money.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it's like some lawyer who's like, you know, oh man, this could be the one that puts me over the hump.
Right.
You know.
It's kind of dumb.
Yeah, I agree. Anyway, so that's it.
Cool.
Anything you would like to add to proceedings there, sir?
No, I'm good, man.
Well, remember there are I do want to say this. I'm not going to get into it because we've disposed of the mailbag. It is no longer a part of the show, but Thad did write in. He's not happy. He will continue to write emails each and every week, not only for me, but for the other people who have subscribed to being able to get Thad's email. And I will tell you now, if you want to get Thad's email, I can't remember. He had an email address for that, but he doesn't send it to me from that. I can't remember. Oh, well. Thad, send me the email address, and I'll tell people how they can get your disgusting email each and every week if that's what they want to do. How about that? As a compromise. But yeah, he was not happy. He says he started watching Titans. He likes that series so far. Have you started watching Titans season 3?
Not yet.
Oh, you're killing me. Killing me.
Maybe tonight, because I plan on staying up all.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to. And that's about it. That's you also like the Eternals trailer and Spider-Man trailer.
Cool.
And a bunch of other, nonsense. But so if you do want to get Thad's email, if that's something that interests you, let us know and we'll get that email address for you. I'll have it. Thad, please send it to me and I'll give it on air next week. And as we used to say, may God have mercy on your soul. But if you'd like to get in contact with us without sending me dick pics, you can send us an email, and we'd be happy to hear from you. That email address is pittsburghnerd@yahoo.com. We won't read your email on the air, but I'll touch on it. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter. Just search Pittsburgh Nerd. We're very easy to find. We're also on YouTube. Don't forget YouTube, where you can catch the vlog. And that YouTube channel is Pittsburgh Nerds. Just search Pittsburgh Nerd. Again, easy to find. I'm revamping the vlogging schedule We'll be posting vlogs on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. I found releasing a vlog on Monday, the same day we release an episode, seemed a bit heavy. Like, you know. So I feel Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays will be much better. So check that out. Lots of good stuff I'm posting there. Expanding the brand, if you will.
Yeah.
Remember, we are a member of a number of podcasting networks. You can find us on the Tangent Bound Network, the Weeby Geeks Network, and the Pod Breed Network. Just give them a Google search, and you'll find all the other great stuff they have to offer. And as always, I want to thank you, dear listener, for checking us out each and every week. And hopefully we will see you on September 25th, 5 p.m. At the Nerd Corner in White Oak, Pennsylvania. We'll have more information as far as address and whatnot. And remember, while we're recording, if you show up and you mention the show, 10% discount on your merchandise.
There you go. That's a deal.
That's a deal. I'll buy that for $1.
All right.
So there you go. Can't thank you enough. We appreciate it. Be a friend. Tell a friend.
There you go.
There you go. And on that note, the dreamer has awakened.
Peace.